Tips for first-time cruisers. Did you know that in 2019, the ocean cruise hit a record-breaking number of annual passengers, clocking in at a whopping 29.7 million? That's crazy! With its gradual increase from 2009, which amounts to 17.8 million, and increasing year by year, it really indicates that the cruise line is getting more popular as years go by. Until the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, during the years 2020 and 2021, which only garnered 5.8 million and 4.8 million cruise passengers respectively. But since the COVID-19 pandemic is coming to an end, thanks to the hard work of scientists for their effective vaccine rollout, creating herd immunity, it seems like cruise lines are getting back on their feet. If you are a first-time cruiser and want to know the most effective ways to enjoy and make your vacation worth it, stay with us through the end of the video. Cruise ships have been one of the go-to vacations for people who want to experience something unique. This has created loyalty passengers and conviction to yearly cruises. But there are still individuals who have not tried going on a cruise at least once in their lives. What seems to be the reason? Well, according to the majority of non-cruisers, taking a cruise is too expensive. It's for retirees only, and there's not much to do. These misconceptions from non-cruisers might scare off the eager ones who want to try to cruise for the first time. In this video, we're going to disprove those reasons. Now, for first-time and aspiring cruisers, you'll want to follow the tips in this video to avoid the stressful situations you might encounter during your first-ever cruise. Tips for first-time cruisers. Arrive at the port one day early. If there's one sole piece of advice you take away from this video, let it be this one. Arriving early is the only way to guarantee you don't miss your ship, which occurs to cruisers more frequently than you might assume. Most cruises leave in the afternoon, so flying or driving to a port on the day of departure might seem to be okay. However, a delayed flight or a traffic jam on the highway can disrupt those preparations. The ship does not wait for late passengers. No matter what your excuses are, it is best to be there as early as you can. Pack your bathing suit in your carry-on. Before you get on board, porters will greet you and help you take your baggage, which will be sent to your cabin at a later time. This is a significant time saver since you won't have to drag your luggage throughout the long check-in process. However, it is likely that you will not have accessibility to your bags for a few hours during your first day on board. Pack whatever you believe you might need in your carry-on bag for the first few hours of your trip. This includes, of course, medicine, a charger, as well as a bathing suit, sunscreen, cap, and other essentials that will allow you to head right to the pool deck to begin the adventure. Do not overpack. Nowadays, most cruising is casual, so you only need a few outfits to rotate throughout your time on a cruise. It's not a problem if your clothes get dirty. A few loads of washing can be done every few days at the laundry area found on the cabin decks of numerous cruise ships. However, if there is no self-service laundry on board, then you can send the laundry out to be cleaned by the staff on board. It normally returns within a day or two. The added cost of doing a couple loads of laundry on a cruise ship is a small amount to pay for not having to carry heavy baggage around while you move on the ship. Additionally, you'll need to leave space in your luggage for all the small souvenirs you'll grab along the tour. Know your fellow passengers. All cruise lines may appear the same to a first-time cruiser, but all cruise lines do differ from each other, of course, and certain lines draw entirely different kinds of people. Most passengers on foreign cruises, such as those offered by Royal Caribbean, will be Americans. The majority of guests on Asian cruises will come from Singapore. Try a mini cruise. A brief trip will allow you to dip your toe into the water. Royal Caribbean, P&O, Carnival, and Celebrity Cruises provide these mini cruise options with 1 to 3 nights on board in Australian ports. These cruises include a variety of themes, including those related to comedy, sports, and cuisine. P&O calls their short excursions sea breaks, whereas other weekend cruises make shorter stops at areas like Moreton Island. Get organized. Plan out your itinerary for your cruise. Don't overschedule yourself during a port-intensive weekend in the South Pacific. Many ports are simple to explore on your own, at your own time. Champagne Bay, Suva, or Noumea, for example. Many cruise lines let you book excursions and spa services in advance online, but they still give you some flexibility during the trip. Don't feel bad if you decide to stay on board while everyone goes on a tour if you are familiar with a port and it is too hot to leave. The pools and decks will be unoccupied, giving you the impression that you are on a private yacht. Track your fare. Next in the list is to track your fare. There is nothing better than a sigh of relief once you learn that your fare is on sale. Whether you booked your itinerary a few weeks in advance at regular price, you can still avail the sale price and even call the cruise lines to update your ticket to the new sale price. Therefore, you will enjoy and reap the benefits of tracking your fare, leaving you extra cash for other expenses. Play the currency game. A cashless platform is used by all cruise lines on board. You register your card at check-in and charge all purchases to your cruise account. Your bar, spa treatments, any excursions planned on board, anything you purchase in the stores, especially restaurant expenses, and currency exchange for poker chips are all likely to be extras on any cruise that is not all-inclusive and even on several that are. Drinks packages. Many cruise lines provide drink packages. These may appear appealing, but think very carefully before purchasing. They're a minefield with countless varieties to choose from. For example, Celebrity Cruises provides packages for several drinks such as bottled water, soft drinks, and regular non-alcoholic beverage packages, and a premium non-alcoholic package. Bring your own drinks on board. If you think that drink packages are not worth it, you can bring your own drinks on board. Many first-time cruisers believe they cannot bring their own beverages on board, much like on an airplane. However, several cruise lines will permit this, generally with some restrictions. It's one way to cut costs when cruising, as cruise ship drinks can be expensive. Disney Cruise Line is one of the cruise lines that will let you become your own bartender. Adults are permitted to bring 2 bottles of sealed wine, champagne, or even half a dozen beers onto cruise ships at the beginning of a trip and at each port of call. Please keep in mind that these products must be carried in a carry-on baggage. Royal Caribbean allows 2 wine or champagne bottles or per cabin before boarding, as well as up to 12 standard cans of non-alcoholic beverages. Don't be afraid to complain. If you arrive on board and are unsatisfied with something, such as the position of your cabin or the placement of your table at meals, don't remain silent. The majority of problems are fixable. Have a brief discussion with the head waiter about issues in the dining room. It happens all the time, but they're used to dealing with challenging situations, such as individuals who don't get along with their dining partners. The receptionists are available to assist you with anything else. Consult the cabin attendant if there's anything missing in your cabin. The tipping minefield. The majority of luxury cruise liners include all tips in the cost. However, some still operate on the outdated concept of handing out envelopes containing cash to hand over to a staff member. Some companies automatically add gratuities to spa treatments, cocktails, and specialty restaurant bills. Delivery fees may also apply to housekeeping. Because these laws change frequently and differ greatly between companies and areas, it is advisable to check with the cruise company or your travel company for the most up-to-date information. Be wary of cruise lines that use the double-dipping tactic, such as Celebrity, Cunard, Holland America, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean. Regardless of the fact that each beverage already comes with a 15 or 18% gratuity, there is an empty spot on the receipt where you can add another tip. You are effectively tipping twice if you add an extra $1 or $2. If you're okay with tipping once, leave it empty. Bring extra toiletries. Well, sunblock, aspirin, and Band-Aids are available on a cruise ship. However, it will cost you more than you expect. Cruise lines recognize that you are a captive market and will be charged appropriately in their onboard shop. Bring a tiny bag that consists of over-the-counter medicines and place it in your suitcase or carry-on bag on every cruise, such as motion sickness, cold medicine, and pain reliever medications. You might not use any of it, but you will never have to pay a ridiculous toiletry fee. Skip the buffet on your first day on board. Nothing is busier than the buffet on board a cruise ship on the day of boarding. Everyone on the boat rushes up to it. Go to any secondary meal choice that is offered to escape the first day buffet lines. On departure day, a ship may operate one of its table service restaurants for lunchtime. it will most likely be less packed than the buffet. Sign up for private tours. It is simple to book a shore excursion straight to your cruise company. You simply check a box on an online application before departing or while you're on board, and everything is taken care of. Booking travels through your cruise line, however, is not the only choice, nor is it necessarily the most efficient option. In many circumstances, you can save a significant amount of money while also having a superior tour experience. Private excursions are frequently far more intimate than ones offered straight from the cruise lines. They may visit the same locations, but in a smaller vehicle rather than a large vehicle. Instead of roughly 40 to 50 individuals, you might just have 6 or 8 on a trip with you. Sign up for activities in advance or soon after boarding. Various cruise lines allow you to pre-book excursions, shows, as well as other activities such as meals at specialty restaurants using the cruise company's app or through web portals. This is a fantastic option if you wish to ensure that you get a seat for a particular event on a specific night or a particular tour or restaurant appointment time. Some events, excursions, and restaurant reservations fill up well in advance on some ships, which is not unusual. Don't feel like you have to do it all. While we're talking about signing up for events, keep in mind that it's acceptable to skip a few. You don't have to apply it to everything. As a matter of fact, you should attempt not to do everything. You're on vacation. After all, just sit back and relax. If you have a balcony, take a seat there and spend some time simply gazing out at the water. You will not be sorry. Always carry the ship's contact information with you. Always take the ship's contact details with you when you disembark on excursions. This information is normally contained in the newsletter that is given to your cabin every evening. If something happens while you're gone from the ship, you should contact the cruise company straight away. Keep your phone in airplane mode. Some of the more surprising cruise ship nightmare stories on the internet involve cruising rookies who piled up thousands of dollars in cellular charges while on board. This can occur if you leave your cell phone's cellular data on and, for example, view videos on the internet. Many phone plans, including international plans, excluding talking, texting, and data aboard cruise ships, and you'll pay outrageous roaming costs for such things, which will appear on your phone bill weeks later. Consider travel insurance. When cruising, it is not always rainbows and butterflies. The seas can be rough at times. You may have to abandon your cruise ahead if sickness arises suddenly. Perhaps you'll become ill throughout the voyage and require urgent medical assistance. Perhaps your flight to your cruise is canceled, causing you to miss the cruise ship's departure. Cruisers can encounter these kinds of issues, and in any of them, you may find that having travel insurance is handy. Don't book a cabin near an elevator. All cabins on a cruise ship are different. When booking your first cruise, avoid rooms near elevators or staircases and those directly above clubs and other venues such as gyms. They can be quite loud at times. Cabins underneath the pool deck and near the anchor, along with rooms near casinos, can also be troublesome. In conclusion, it might be difficult for newbies to go for a vacation cruise without knowledge on what they intend to do. This can turn what was supposed to be a relaxing vacation into a very stressful time, racking up unwanted bills and more. But with enough knowledge and research, you could end up going on the vacation of a lifetime. The well-researched tips provided in this video have helped rookies in the past. So go on your cruise vacation and make sure to apply the tips you have learned in this video. Thank you for watching today's video. If you found this information helpful, please click the like button and share this video with a friend. Thank you guys, and I will see you on the next one.